Hi everyone, it's Dally here. I hope you're all well. The sun's shining. Don't know where that's come from. It's a nice day today. I've got a bit of a headache though. But otherwise all good. So I've got a few of you joining me tomorrow. I'll give a few of you to get online. And we're going to be doing the Beauty is in the Small Things album, so those few who are joining me. So I'll just share that very quickly while I'm waiting for you all. So if you come and say hello. So this is the album we're going to be doing. It's an 8x8 album, and we're going to do basically the foundation for it. So you can just see, isn't that lovely, 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 lovely? Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So some of you have bought the kits, so you will be able to do it along. Obviously it's recorded, so if anybody wants to do it at a later date, we have only a few kits left. So it's so pretty. And then obviously you've got all the other side as well. I won't turn it all over because I knew I would do that. But there we go, this is the other side as well. Hi Gloria. So Gloria's always very good. First one usually. So always on time. So just saying, Gloria, we're doing this tomorrow. I have to ask Pip who's on the list, because I know sometimes last time we had a few people that weren't invited. So apologies for that, because I think, Gloria, you were one of them. So today we are going to be looking at decorating a boot. So I'm going to get started. And I'm sure people can rewind and have a look if there's anything. Now, a while back I did a boot. It's actually the other boot to this. There's the boot. Hi Joan. I did the boot. And in fact a really nice gentleman bought it for his sister, because I did it as a vase. So today I'm going to decorate this. This is like, had a bit of decoration on it from before that I've been playing with, but I'm going to start to make it a little bit nicer. And what I'm going to do is, I've got loads, I mean I'm not joking, loads and loads of scraps of rice paper, which I want to put to good use. So we do the fabric and leather paints in about 100 million colours. Not quite a bit of exaggeration, but I'm going to be using the olive tree green. I'm also going to use a fabric and leather paint retarder, which you can use for most things to extend the period that they dry in, so you can blend better. And I'm also going to be using the Textile Decoupage medium, because I think it's better to stick that down onto the leather. I'm also going to use one of our chameleon fabric paints as well. So a bit of a combination of things, but I'm mainly going to be working on my little boot. So I'm going to start off with using this beautiful olive tree green. Okay. Really nice paints, and you can cover leather and you can cover fabrics. So we've got some nice fabric bags actually we've done using the paints. I should have brought those up as well, but just to show you. So really easy to apply. I'm actually going to go over this bit because I'm going to do half a boot today. So all I'm doing is applying the paint to start me off. Now a lot of people ask me, can you crackle onto this? If you were doing it as an ornament, then yes you could. If you were going to wear it, then no. I'm going to just do that to the edge of that boot there, that line there. Even though I'm going over a little bit, I'm not worried too much. So all I'm doing is I'm just painting it. Very easy. The fabric paints, the vintage range, the glitter range, are absolutely beautiful to work with. We don't have many left. We are going to discontinue them purely because we find that unless you're working with fabric, you don't tend to use them, even though you can use them on any product. They're always a bit thicker than the other paints. bit more flowy, and I really love using them, and in fact I use them on different projects because there's some of the colours they come in the vintage range is absolutely beautiful. So I've gone through and I've painted, but can you see the coverage is absolutely beautiful. I'll hold that up in a minute. And I haven't even dried the first layer yet. So if I wanted to go over this again, I could do. So can you see how lovely, how smooth it is, how lovely it is. It's just so gorgeous to work with. Okay, so I'm going to do the heel as well. I'm just covering all of this so that we've got one colour going on for this one. So I'm going to do half and then and you'll get the idea. So, and then we're going to start adhering the rice paper. So I'm just going to do the inside of the heel as well. And it's really nice the way that it takes, the paint takes to the word, it takes to the... So if you ever have any problems, always use bonding primer. If you have any problems in adhering things, and then that will help as well. So I'm going to go around the heel here. I'm going to do half today, and then just going to do this bit here. And that way I can do the other half another day or later. So I'm going to put that down now. I'm going to carry on to the front. So easy to use, these paints, and I really like the effect that you get. Okay, so all I'm doing is just going over. This is just from a charity shop or a thrift store, as you would say. They're not one of mine. I think I'd fall over if I wore these. I hope the smoke is better there, Gloria. So again, I'm just going over that. Now you can always come back once it's dried. You can come back, but I love this colour. Good morning, everyone. Oh, beautiful skies there as well, Charlie. Oh, that's lovely. Hi, Pip. Hi, Jill. So we're doing the boot today. So just going to come in. So like I said, I sold the other one. So I thought, oh, I'll do this one as well. So a really nice young gentleman bought it for his sister, which was really sweet. Okay. That white, and all I'm doing is I'm just doing the, I don't know what you call it, but like a tongue on the boot, I think it's called. So I'm just doing that bit. So if you can't see what I'm doing, that's all I'm doing at the moment. I might as well get that done as well while I'm at it. Okay, it's very easy to apply. It's not like, it's really easy, and it dries reasonably quickly as well. So this is going to go inside. So I want to do a nice job. It's a really nice way to upcycle as well. Like I said, if you wanted to make sure everything was sticking, then I'm only doing half of it today. So there we go. So I'm going to put that down. Right, now it's a decision I need to make is, I'm going to go over this bit here. So don't be afraid, just use it like you would use your normal paints. And I'm going to put this bit up to here. Okay, so I'm just doing the edges with it. And I don't even know if I will need a second coat, to be honest with you, because by the time I've decorated it, I love doing these. I haven't done one for ages. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. And what I'm going to do with this bit here is I'm going to use the chameleon, because it's black. This bit's already black. I can really make it really nice with the blue chameleon paint. So it's just going to go over it. It's a bit thin. Let me just give that a quick stir. Because chameleons are thinner purely because they've got this iridescence in them as well. Okay, it's the back of my paintbrush there. So we've got the workshop tomorrow, so I know a few of you are signed up for that. That's at 6 p.m. or 10 p.m. Just need to ask Pip actually who's joining us from Canada. I've already sent the closed group, so maybe Pip's already sent that as well. So I've sort of blended that in, but once that dries you'll see how nice that will look. Let me have a good quick look at that. Oh, move my heat then. Let me just grab my heat then. So yeah, so it's been I've been so busy with the new collection, been doing so much, I haven't really had time to do much else. Just finished putting over 600 images on a USB for the new collection. So always be careful with your heat gun, you don't want to melt anything. Now it's important that you sort of dry it, because what people sometimes do is with anything, actually it doesn't mean just this, is that they don't dry their work. Oh, thank you, Jill. I hope that all goes well with your hand. Yes, there was a secret box we sent to you. How is everybody hiding? I don't know where they've gone, Gloria, today. But I think they're still there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another coat on there. There we go. So, and I like all the texture you've got on the boot. So I just want to make sure. And you will see here, this has got like an iridescence finish to it now. So I like that finish. I really like this colour. It's called the olive tree green. So it's a really nice colour. So I'm just covering that. I'll probably cover a little bit more on the bottom. I just want it to be nice and even. This is the boring bit really, as I call it. Some people would actually find it very therapeutic. So there we go. I'll do the tongue bit later, it doesn't matter so much because I just want to get this bit all done. So it'll be hopefully a nice project. Now, you can do this with any rice paper. I find it easier with the rice papers than I do papers. But you could do it, you could print onto copier paper and use that as well. So there we go. So I'm quite happy with the results of that. Just going to put my brush with this little bit on. And I'm going to put that, just give that a quick blast. Okay, so it's reasonably dry, so that's good. I'll grab my pen off the table. So now it's the fun part. So like I said, I've got some scraps of rice paper just lying around, and I haven't done anything with them. So I'm going to look at what I want to do with them. So it doesn't matter if it's a little bit wet, but just be careful. Now I'm going to wrap that around, even though I haven't done the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I know that I want this bit here, so all I'm going to do is tear that there. Okay. Now you could put it either way. You could put it this way or the other way. I think I'm going to go like this. So let's look, it might be better this way. I quite like this way. And that bit to be over there. Right, what I'm going to do is I want them to still, I want the rice paper to pop. So I'm going to come in with a white primer and just prime all my bits. Even though I've got green on my, probably got it on my, okay, so all you're doing, this is just so that I can have, I don't want the green as such to show through from the boot, but I still want to have that as my accent colour. So all I'm doing is using white, just white primer paste, and I'm just doing that. So it's all really nice. So yeah, so I spent yesterday and today with Pip just going through all the images we were going to put onto this USB. So gosh, right, so it's going to have a bit of a green tinge to it because Dally was naughty. Okay, and so what I want to do is stick on that onto there. Now I want my Textile Decoupage medium, which is what I'm going to use, and I'm going to put that straight onto my boot. And just make sure everything is dry. Obviously it doesn't matter too much because we're only adhering product, so we're going to put a little bit of this onto. So I just find this is an easier way to do it, to put it onto with the textile one. I think you could put it on with the ceramic as well because it's a non-porous surface. So that's why I was thinking of using this, and I think textile, especially on the leather bit. Okay, so I'm going to actually put mine this way, and I'm going to take this over here. I'm going to tear, I should have tore this already, but I'm going to tear a little bit at the bottom because I don't want it to be perfect. Okay, so even though this is I know this is not the right way up, but I'm not worried about that. And what I want to do is I just want to bring that into there. I love doing this. I think it's so therapeutic. Let's pull that fibre there. And then we can blend this afterwards. But at the moment what we want to do is we just want to get everything down. So can you see how beautiful that's going to look? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over. It's a little bit fiddly to work with, I have to say, but I'm quite happy with it, the way it's coming out. So can you see how lovely that's going to look? Now I could have that straight, so if I wanted it, I can still take it off. And I could put that really straight. Let's have a look what that would look like. It's very, I'll put this here so that I've got something to lean my little shoe against. Just enough to hold it for me. Let me have a look at what it would look like the other way as well. Maybe that way would be better. I'm not sure yet. Just playing really. So I like this side as well. I still want to go with where I started, even though I've now made it really messy. But what I might do is keep this straight. And that way, I've got that straight. Okay, so obviously you would dry everything really nicely. You would take your time, but I know that I want this piece to sit here. So like you would on anything else, just do it the same way you would do it on the furniture. You would do it on anything else. So let's get some more down here. And that's all you're doing, is you're just taking your paper and applying it as you would on a canvas, on any other material. So I'm quite liking this. And the thing is, it's adding character to the boot basically. Pull this bit off the edge here. I will show you in a minute because you're probably seeing it from a funny angle at the moment. And I'll tear a little bit more there, and then just bring that in a little bit. I will show you once I've done that bit. So look, let's see if I can put my hand in there without getting my hands totally dirty. So this side we're going to do later, but we're not doing that today. So we're just doing this side, but I might end up finishing it, knowing me. Okay, we're going to rip a little bit off here as well, because there we go. I feel a lot happier now. And the beauty of rice paper is you can lift it and then put it back down again. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the medium over the top. So can you see how well that already is blended in? Oh, look at that. Can you see that? Oh, let me show you. Look at that. Already how nice that looks. We haven't done much, have we? So, just making sure. Obviously these aren't to wear, but you could varnish them and wear them, but obviously you'd have to be very, very careful. So I'm really happy with that little bit of my boot. Good afternoon, Blanche, it's nice to have you here. So there we go. So that's one bit done on that side. Okay, so the next bit, I'm going to put this one down again. So happy with it already. Okay, now I'm going to look at what else I want to add. So I might add this little bit of violin that's just here, just so that I've got that. That's the beauty. You have all these bits of paper left over, don't know what to do with them. Get an old pair of shoes, old pair of boots, and I just, let me see where I want to add this. I like the idea there. So I'm not going to paint this one white underneath, I'm just going to leave it as it is. It's quite light anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that in. And with this one, what you could do is you could put your drumsticks inside your shoe, couldn't you? Your musical shoe or something like that. So I really like the way that then works. Because the whole idea is just blending and blending, and you're just building this shoe up. And we've got to add other techniques to it yet, but this is the start of it. And that's what I love about it. Okay, so now we've got this really nice bit here with the little violin on it. Got the little piano bit there. So it's always nice to see how it comes together for just that bit anyway. Okay, now I have this bit as well, and I really like the word Paris. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the writing, the department, maybe they're playing in Paris. So I just want to sort of put that at the top there. Okay, and look, I've taken a bit of paint off that bit there, so we have to be careful to let it dry properly, which I haven't allowed it to do. Okay, let's put some white paint back on the Paris. I'm sort of going this way, aren't I, a little bit. Oops, let me move everything this way a little bit. So all I'm doing is with the rice paper, I'm making sure everything's white underneath so that it pops more on the boot rather than going to the green colour. Okay, and there we go. I should dry that a little bit. Okay, so that just helps it all pop, and then it makes it look like it's much better, in a better place. Right, using your decoupage medium again, I'm going to stick this up here. Leave it quite a bit there because it's got a bit of a crease. It's so thin and it goes a long, long way, and it's very, very good. Okay, now I don't mind it's wet because it's going to dry. I should dry it a little bit so I don't get all over my things. Primer dries really quickly, so just be aware of that, then you'll know. So I'm going to put this one here, so I'll have to put a little bit more of the decoupage medium down. So always lift your piece of work and work with it. If you want to paint your paper first, you could always paint your paper. Everybody does it differently. I tend to put mine onto the substrate and then I tend to go over at the top with the glue as well. So you want this to stay on, so you could varnish this afterwards so that you've got that. So there we go. So don't worry about the decoupage medium. Just make sure you've got enough underneath it. I don't mind any creases in it because I think it just adds to the character. But don't have any air bubbles in it because I'll make it a little bit. There we go. So there we go. So that's our little bit of Paris in there. Just pressing it out so that if there's anything, because obviously it's a lot harder to work with than say something which is like a canvas or something that's hard. So put your fingers underneath or get yourself a little, you know, bit of cardboard to help you. So can you see now how quickly that already starts to come together? Then keep it, so it takes a little bit of time because obviously, you know, it's still a big piece to work with. Okay, let's see what else we've got to stick on here. Right, so I've got bits and pieces, so it's not just that I'm just using that. And I've even got, if you've got any music paper, you can always use book pages, music paper, depending on what you're doing really. It's up to you what you want to use. You know, maybe might want to put that there. I'm going to have a look at that. I might. Thinking where I want to put it. Put it the right way up, that would help. I don't like totally like straight edges, that's a problem. Because I think the straight edges, the only paper left by the time I finish with it. So I think I'm going to put some here. So let's put a little bit, maybe even here, actually here. And it's just a matter of just, you could actually set out all your layers, but as many of you know, that would never be a Dali style to do that. That, you know, that Dali would be that prepared that she'd want to do it that way. But I like the idea, again, to have more texture within this. Yeah. So let's tear this bit and don't like to waste anything, you see, that's the other problem. So I'm going to put that up there. Just make sure you've got enough textile medium on it all, because what will happen is it will lift after a bit, but like we say, we can varnish it right at the end. Not today, but when it's all nice and dry. So yeah, so even though it looks a bit, oh God, what's she doing? It will all come together eventually, she says. Okay, so we've got a bit of that going on. Okay, do you know what? I really like, don't ask me why I wanted to bring Oriental into it, but I really liked this green with the Oriental as well. So, I'm not sure what I want to do yet, as you can tell. But let's take this little bit of Oriental. Just tear the edges. Now, if you have problems tearing the edges, just wet it with water and it will be fine. Yes, you can do that, and that's a nice idea as well, Jill. I was going to put some drumsticks in it for Paul, but there we go. Okay, so because I love the colour of this, I'm going to have a little bit of that running along here. I want to paint it white again because I want those flowers to pop. I keep forgetting to. I don't want to forget to paint the rice paper white, especially where I want it to pop. So it doesn't have to be a lot. It's just a little bit of white, just adding to the back, so it just pops. It makes such a difference. Wrong one. So we're going to put it about here. I'm quite addicted to this. Yeah, if you put like a plastic pot inside, or even a jam jar or a glass jar or something, then you can put this here. Go. That's a bit too much up here. I'm just going to tear that away. And you can overlap rice paper, so that's the other beauty of rice paper, is that you can actually overlap it. So you're never really going to go wrong with it. So I'm just going to use this bit. And I like that as well. And you could collage the whole shoe with the rice paper. You don't have to just do, we could cover the whole shoe in this if we wanted to. Look how lovely that looks already. It's really hard to tell you how nice, even though I know it looks a little bit, look at that. You see? You could wear it if you varnished it and you didn't go, I suppose, I wouldn't recommend going out in rain, but yeah, of course you could. I've only got 1 foot left there, that's not going to work, is it? So, what else have I got in this little... I feel like a butterfly coming on now. So let's take this butterfly here. So, rather than just thinking, oh, what am I going to do with my scraps of paper or my rice papers, this is a lovely way to work. And you've got one unique shoe. I mean, people pay a lot of money for unique shoes. So, if you find some, but they look lovely in a wardrobe as well. So many things that you can use the shoe for. So, just put a pot in, like Jill says. You could even use it for your paintbrushes. You could use it for anything really. Knitting needles. It's quite substantial, this boot as well. Okay, so we've got this really nice butterfly, which I'm going to overlap about here because it says butterfly and I quite like the idea. I want to move it a little bit over because I don't want to lose the butterfly wording. Paul says I should put it at an angle. So let's see if we can put it at an angle. There we go. Just want to make sure I don't get rid of the word butterfly and I can still see my little... So I think that's going to be too low. There we go. That's where I want it. So I always know where I want something eventually. So you can see where I haven't made the wording butterfly white. So that will sort of blend in a bit more, but the butterfly itself will be quite popping out, shopping around. So now if you wanted to make it a bit more, then you need to put white onto it. There we go. So I'll probably take a little bit of this, but be careful that you don't ruin your butterfly if you've got a butterfly. So this is with all your scraps you could do this, any scraps really. But it's a really nice way to do it. Just thinking, do I want a bit of white behind that butterfly? I do want a bit of white there. Just know that I do. See, this is typically Dali. Rush, 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 rush. And then says, oh no, I want a bit of white. But don't panic. That's me all over. There you go. See, I'm happier now. Much, much happier. Now that that's the right colour. But look at that. Isn't that looking really nice? I just love it. Ooh, It's so cool. It's so cool. Okay, so I've still got little bits and pieces that you could add. And let's have a look. What else have I got? What else would look nice on here? Quite like these postage stamps as well. They look quite cool. Sort of like a, you know, sort of adding to the theme really. I'm just using the bits. I feel so happy because I'm not using a whole rice paper. I'm just doing it from what I've got left, which has just been sitting there, gathering dust obviously. So this is a good way. Yeah, you could do a Christmas boot, couldn't you? That sounds like a strange thing, but you could put it on for weddings. You could do it for so many things. Again, I'm going to paint mine white just to make it pop, because otherwise it will get lost on the green. Okie dokie. Where can I find you, Mindy? Hi, Dolly. Hi, all. Busy at work, but watching in the background. Ah. That's right. Oh, I see, yeah, because I'm doing the workshop tomorrow, that's right. And Pip's got another, I forgot Pip's got another one. Now I've got to find where I'm going to work this in, because I think I'm going to put it right at the front there. Feels like it's been on holiday, this boot, with these little stamps on it, like a suitcase. You could do this with a suitcase. Yes. I'm sure Pip will send you the link, Gloria, where she's going to be, because I don't know either. Which group? I think it's Apex's group, but I won't say that because I don't know for sure. Okay, so look at that. Isn't it coming along? It sure is. Let's see what else have we got in this little world of mine. Oh, look, I've got some more a bit darker paper, but let's see if there's anything in here that would work for us. Doesn't always work, so don't try and make something work that doesn't work. So, I think this is too dark. Let's have a look at from some of that. And you know, you might decide that you've got enough on there now. I might leave it. Might leave it at that. Not sure. What do you think, ladies? What do you think? I'm thinking about it. What shall we think? There's a little bit more red up here. Okay. I'm thinking how I want this to look. We'll bring some of that from the bottom up as well, so that we've got that in there. I think that would be nice there. Let's put some white on that again, just so it doesn't get lost in our green. Okay, so exciting. And I don't mind covering bits over, I don't mind the overlap. I just like the fact that we've got this really nice sort of collage going on. And really, seriously, closest, it actually looks really, really nice. So I'm trying to fill all these. I do want to actually fill a lot of the gaps up. So, let's see. Oh, I've got little fluffy bits for my little jumpers. So, I am mumbling today. I've got a very, very, very bad headache today. And these lights are not helping it. Okay, let me put this into, I think it's because I've been on the computer all day. That's what's done it. Okay, it's got a bit there. It's like I don't want to waste any of it. Can you see? I don't want to waste any of it. So I'm going to put that there as well. There we go. And I don't mind because it's getting a little bit of that blue tone coming through from the boot as well. I think I'm quite happy with the amount I've now got on. I will come back to this bit, but I'm not going to do that now. But can I show you where I've got to so far? Look at that. Doesn't that look cool? Coolio. Might do a little bit up here. A little bit up here. Let's see, what do we want to put up here? Got a little bit of music going on here. Let's put that on. We can start to do the next bit. Now, you could actually even crackle all this with a transparent crackle. That would look quite cool, I think, anyway. I'm going to put this up here because it's a bit of music and I don't want to waste it. And I felt there was a gap there. There we go. That's good. I'm happy with it so far. Let's see if I've got anything else I want to add. But I've got scraps. Even looking at the little scraps, some, you know, like little bits like this, I just like to sort of add bits on because I think it just adds to it. And that's all it is, you're just adding. Okay, I'm going to leave that for a moment there. Give that a quick blast. Let's see what's next for us. Doesn't it look cool? I think it looks really cool. Obviously I've got to finish quite well. So already that looks really, really, really cool. Look at that. I hope you agree. Okay. I'm not sure what's on this one. I think it's white, so that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the paint, put that down on my mat. I'm going to add a little bit of white to that. Do I have anything which I can add it with? I'll just use this. So, and then I'm going to try and get that to come in with this just a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put that in and start to sort of blend that in into the background with the rest of the shoe. So that's making a noise. So we don't really see, you don't mind going over the bits that we've already done. Okay, so just a little bit of primer and the colour you used originally to start to blend that in a bit. Okay, and I like the light and dark bits as well. So can you, it's a little bit wet. So can you see how that's starting to blend? So, and that's all we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of the white, a little bit of the and we're just doing like, now I'm going to add a little bit of fabric retarder to this because it will help me leave it open for a bit longer and it will really help with the blending, and I find that really does make a difference. Just moves the paint a lot better for the fabric feel. And look, you can see already how that's all blending in. And it doesn't look like it's just stuck there. Okay, let's put a little bit more green there. Let's put a bit more of the fabric. Fabric retarder is really important because it also helps the paint move a little bit more. Okay, and it gives it that. My butterfly words to be covered. Okay. And then we're just coming in, I'm just doing like a stippling circle effect with this. So put a little bit more white on this. And it's such, I find it really rewarding to do. I think it's a really nice way to, and you can put darker, lighter bits, shading, whatever you want to. You know, wherever you want to do it. And I just love this look. Like I said, I'm only doing half a bit, but just look at that. To be careful because things are wet. Look at that. See how nice it's starting to look. It looks like it's always been there. It looks like it was always meant to be covered like this. So, and it's again about blending your colours. It's about not being afraid. Add a little bit of colour to your butterfly wings that matches, maybe not so much. So it's a little mottled. So it looks like it's always been there. Otherwise what happens is it looks like you've added it afterwards. So I quite like the white shading as well with the primer. And it's about going over the rice paper as well as it is about giving it that shading. But this looks absolutely gorgeous. I can't tell you how lovely actually. It looks a lot nicer than I thought it was going to look. So I've got to do that front bit because I wanted to take that off. Okay, so let me just show you. Look at that. See how that's all blended in? How that's all coming together? So, thank you, Gloria. Oh, thank you, Charlie. Yeah, it is quite a cool way to do it. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that mottled effect up to the top as well. So the retarder really helps because it helps me keep my paints open for longer. So really recommend that if you're using paints, whether it's fabric or not fabric. It really helps with blending. So I quite like this mottled effect. But can you see? Look at that. I mean, I'm so pleased with it. It looks quite ornate already. Yeah. So I think I'll leave that bit there for a moment. So let's give that a quick blast. Now you could, like I said, you could do transparent crackle over the top and use your wax. Now both sides don't have to be exactly the same, you know. So let me see if I can show you how that would look. So can you see how beautiful that's already looking? And you could even put our little mannequin, who's obviously a bit more mannequin in. Let's see if she'd look nice in there. Maybe I could, if she turned the right way, she could look quite cute in there. Oh, giving me ideas now. Little mannequin, go away now. So, yes, Gloria, a boot off, as they say. There we are. So, I'm going to take some gold wax now, and I'm just going to put a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing the edges on this. Obviously, you can do a lot on these. You can stencil onto them with the fabric paints. You can, you know, there's so much you can be doing. But it's just a matter of how you want your boot to come out. Yeah. So again, I really love. It's a really nice fabric to work on as well. You know, the leather. I don't think this is leather, by the way. It's just artificial, but the paint still works on it. But look at that already. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. So excited. Look how easy excited I am. And it just makes it so pretty. It's unbelievable. It's such a nice project to do. Nice way to get your, you know, do a bit of home decor, go to your thrift store, see something you like, you know, and just go for it. And you'll have a little bit of texture on your rice papers as well. So you can come in gently and then just don't pick up too much wax, because it's easy to do that. And then what you find is that you can make it too shiny or something. And I don't want it to be too shiny. I want it to have a little bit of gold in it, but not to be like as if I've gone over with it. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks so cool. So, and again, I'm going to go through the edges. So I'm not putting loads on, but enough. A bit more, it's still wet on the other side, by the way. So you would wait for it all to be dry really nicely. Not like Dali's doing here. But then that's Dali, isn't it? Look at that already. You see how cool it is, and with all the laces and everything, it will be. Thank you, Jill. Yes, looking really. It does look really, really cool, I have to say. In real life, it actually looks really cool. So I'm going to take this little bit here, because this is on the boot. There's some really nice bits that you can actually use your wax on, like the edging here and stuff like that. So it makes it so much nice, and the stitching looks really nice in it. So it's a really nice way to do it. So we've got to finish this all bit off here. Fortunately, now I wish I'd done it all. So look at this, so gorgeous. Gold here. And if you've got any lifting, just go back in again and just make sure it's all okay. A bit of gold on around here. And then what you can do is you can take, and I will do in a minute. So I'll show you in a minute. Obviously you would do all of it. Gold up here. Because there's texture on the rice paper, you can then come in, but I don't know if I can show you how beautiful. I'm going to do this way. How beautiful that's looking. I'm actually in love with it. I would wear them. I definitely would. They do look coolio. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is, stay to me again, is I'm going to use my 3D blue steel, which I think will look really nice with these. And again, this is a waterproof, so it will be fine, but we're not obviously going to do anything. But yeah, oh gosh, oops, daisy. I'm going to put some on my butterfly here, and then I'm going to put little dots around the bottom of my boot. And I think this has been in the heat, I think. That's okay. And then I'm going to put some dots into my flowers, just little ones. And these will dry 3D, so it'll look really cool. Just pretend there's a few flowers. Some nice circles there I can use. And I'm just thinking what else I need. I don't really need any more really. But what I'll do is I'll put 3. Oops, a daisy. It's okay. It's all right. And make 3. There we go. That's going to look really cool. Cool. So I just need to do the little bit bigger. They're going to look ever so cool. And if you didn't like them, you could always put a bit of gold wax over the top. You have to be careful because obviously they move a little bit. But I think I'm going to leave it at that because I could ruin it. That would be sad if I ruined it. Wash these. I mean, you could. What have I got on this? I don't know what I've got on it. You could. No, but I've put the colours on it. You could come in with a white and just highlight it a little bit. So you wait for your stuff to dry a little bit. But what that'll do is just give you a little bit more. I'll show you on this bit here. I'll post it, don't worry. And that'll give it a little bit, so you'll see, you get a little bit of a highlight then. See, look at that. Oh my God. It's so pretty. I think it would, Jill. It's a really, it says for fabric and leather paint. It's a retarder, it just says it's for that, but it's a medium to slow down the drying of Pentart fabric and leather paints, but I cannot see why it wouldn't. And it really helps with shading, and it really helps with blending. So it's a really, it's an 80ml bottle, is it? Yeah, 80ml bottle. It goes a long, long way. We used it on our fabric bags and everything. So I have used it with others. It just leaves the paint open a lot longer. So I'll just put a little bit more white, not too much. So if you just want to catch a little bit of shading here or there, then you can do. Again, what it's doing is like a dry brushing, not too much, but sort of crisscross. And you really want very little on your shoe, on your brush even. And you will see that it makes such a difference just in areas. And you could stamp on these, like I don't mean literally stamp on them. So now I'm thinking of other ideas. Just want to take a lot of that paint off. So I don't want... And I like this sort of crisscrossing of the primer, because what it does is it adds a little bit of texture. And you'll see it adds a bit of texture, but just a little bit, enough for me to shadow a little bit along the bottom. It's like a piece of art. I have to say, I'm really, really pleased with it before she starts to ruin it. So can you see now I've done a little bit of shadowing on that. It's broken it down again. I'm really pleased with it actually, to be honest with you. I can say that because I'm not usually... I didn't know what it would... You don't ever know what anything's going to turn out like, do you? That's the whole point. So I'm pleased the way this has turned out. Now like any project, she says, let's not make a mess, too much mess, Dolly. Just put this away in here. So yeah, the Retarder, the chameleon paints, the vintage fabric paints are a must. Seriously, they are so, so beautiful. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my... I think that's a bit too... Oh, I like this one. Always like this one, don't I? So this is the patina green again. As you can see, I like it because I've got it there already. Oops, put a bit too much water. And I'm going to do the splashes as you would on anything else. You would do them the same way. That's what brings it together. I'm trying not to do as many as I'm doing. There we go. Stop Dalvinda. No, she doesn't want to start. And then that just brings it all together. When that's dry, it's going to look amazing. What I'll do is I will post it with bits and pieces in it and see what it looks like once it's all nice and dry. So let me hold that up, or try and hold that up for you. Look at that. Oh, it's magical. It's a boot and a half. It's a statement boot. Oh, Jill, definitely try it and let us know. So there we go, ladies. That is me for today. Hopefully you liked this. And it'll be interesting to see if any of you actually make a boot or make a pair of shoes, or you could do the same technique on a piece of furniture. That's what we needed. Gloria, that's right. We needed splatters. Even boots need splatters. So yeah, you are right. So what I might do is not, well, I should do it now, is with this tongue, we call it a tongue, I think, in English. Look at that. Oh, God, they're so cute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this bit. Let me just show you all. And I'm going to put that bit into there. Yay! So I've got a bit more to do. Oh gosh, I've stuck it down. But at the moment, that's what it's looking like. So it looks absolutely fabby-dabby-dozy. So thank you very, very much. Thank you, Gloria. I look forward to seeing some of you tomorrow evening. And Pip, good luck with your Facebook Live. And yep, and I will catch up with you all. Yeah, it would be the envy, wouldn't it, of a new style. And I'll catch up with you all very soon. Take care. Have a great weekend. Yes, Jill, I do too.